here, remember to spread your fingers really wide. And, you can either point the middle finger to the front of your mat, which is more of a traditional grip, or if you have elbow, shoulder, wrist issues, sometimes it's nice to fan them out just a little bit so that the pointer finger is. But either way, let's make sure that our shoulders are stacked above our wrists. And maybe take a look down towards the knees and see if you can feel a difference in being stacked underneath your hips. And we're going to do 3 rounds for cat-cow on your own though. So on your next exhale, prepare. And then we are going to inhale as we look up and arch back. Still feeling the pause in between. And then the exhale to round. Pulling the belly in, so moving organically. And then again feeling the pause before you inhale. So the head is the last thing to come up, it's not the inhale. And then as you exhale and you start rounding, the pelvis tilts, the belly pulls in, the shoulders start to open or close, and then the chin tucks in last. And then on the bottom of the last exhale, wherever you've prepared and you've finished your 3 rounds, we're going to come back to our child's pose. So that's where we just push back, our heels down to our hips. Now from here, your options again, you can either keep the hands stretched out in front of you. If you're more comfortable with the hands down beside you, you can bring them down with the palms facing up. So from here, you should be able to hear your breath. You should be able to feel your belly inflating and deflating. See if you can feel your hips sinking a little bit on your exhale. And now reach your arms out straight if they're not already there. Spread your fingers wide and actively start pushing your hands down into the mat. See if you feel any changes in your abdomen. So just the palms are pushing into the mat. The forearms are probably lifted off the ground. And now take a look at your hands. Make sure they're still shoulder width apart. There's a good chance they came a little closer, opened up a little bit wider. And now from here we're going to push up into our first downward facing dog. So remember, downward facing dog, again, our fingers are spread wide. Depending on your wrist, elbow, and shoulder situation, your hands may be fanned a different direction. But remember, all of us, we want to have our knees bent so that our tailbone and our hips are aimed towards the skies. And for those of you whose hamstrings are a bit more open, you're going to work the heels eventually down to the floor, but without compromising the length of the spine. So no rounding. Continue the breath. Deep inhale. And complete exhale. One more full inhalation. Complete exhalation. And at the bottom of the breath, take a look at the hands. With the right leg, we're going to take a big step forward. And then the left leg, bend the knees if the hamstrings are tight. On your next inhale, just look up towards the front into a long spine. Exhale again, soften. Let some gravity do work here. Let your head be heavy at the bottom. And then put some weight into the heels, pull your belly in, and inhale all the way to standing. Big breath, reaching overhead as you look towards the sun. And then exhaling. We're going to take a moment to come up, just where our hands are just down by our sides. So just allow the eyes to close more length in your spine, and every exhale is an opportunity to create a little bit more depth through flexibility. So for those of you that are really flexible here and your heels are flat to the floor, activate your thighs. Come on. Good. Let's take one more deep inhale. Exhale everything you've got. And then take a look at your hands. And now with the left foot, take a big step forward. And then your right foot. Let's inhale and just look towards the front of the room. And then exhale, soften again. Let your head be heavy. Shift the weight to your heels a little bit. Pull your belly in. And with a big inhale, come all the way back. Standing again, reaching towards the sky. And then exhale to release. We're going to go right into the next one. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And exhale again, flying forward as you bring your chest towards your thighs. Let your head be heavy. Inhale again, taking a look up towards the front. And exhaling again, stepping one leg back and the other. Take an extra inhale. Make your modification if you need it by dropping the knees. And exhale as you lower your chest towards the floor. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog. And then exhale again, rolling over those toes. Try to use your core muscles to lift the hips up to the sky. So remember in downward facing dog, when we come into it, that first inhale, it sets the rhythm for our practice. So the longer and more controlled that inhale is, the longer our spine will get. And then in turn, the exhale will be just as good, just as long. You'll find strength and stability. Make sure your hands are pressed flat. Sometimes we have a tendency to lift the thumb knuckles up and the pointer fingers, and it looks like supination, or it is supination. So the outside of the elbows and the shoulders could have some pain or whatever afterwards. All right, let's take one more big inhale. Exhale all the way, and now take a look at your hands. You can either walk or start to hop those feet forward. Inhale, look up, and exhale, soften and fold again. Head is heavy, and then weights and heels, and a big inhale, look all the way up. Try to set your drishti to the thumbs to the top. Exhale to release, close the mouth, and out to the nose. And again, inhale, lift it all the way. Feel your sternum lift up this time. And then as you exhale, imagine that sternum one day touching your knees. Inhale, take a look up. And now again, you're walking or maybe hopping your feet back to your push-up position. Again, if you need the modification, drop down, take an extra inhale. Keep the spine long. And then exhale, lower. Come to the hover if you feel strong enough. Flip the toes. Inhale into upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale again, rolling over those toes, hips to the sky. Start the breath. So in downward facing dog again, hands are spread wide, feet are active. Now we're going to start to turn that ujjayi on a little bit more, now that our bodies are getting a little warm. So one of the ingredients to the ujjayi is pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth and allowing the vibration to only be through the throat. Listen to it, hear it. Now one big inhale, fill up all the way. Exhale everything you've got. Again, you're either walking or maybe hopping your feet up to your hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale again, soften, fold, heady head. And waist and heels. Inhale, pull the belly in on your way up towards the thumb at the top. And then release. And just stand the thumb up. Deep breathing. Inhaling. And exhaling. We're going to go right into Surya Namaskara B. Remember Surya, sun, Namaskara, salutation, sun, salutation, feet. So we're going to inhale, lift the shoulders up. And exhale, remember we push them back down to a long neck. On this inhale, the sternum lifts up. And then as we exhale, we sit back in our chair. Fingertips may one day be able to touch the floor. And then we inhale, sweep the arms up, push the heart between the shoulders. And then exhale again, take the swan dive down, belly towards the thighs. Inhale again as you look up towards the front. And again, you're walking or maybe floating the feet back to your push-up position. Make your own modification. Take an extra inhale. And exhale, set your plank or lower chaturanga. Flip the toes, inhale into upward facing. And exhale, roll over those toes into downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to lift our right leg up to the sky. job. Now inhale, lift the leg straight up. Look at your hands. And exhale, pull your foot all the way up to your hands. Now remember, if you can't get it all the way up, we take the back of the shin, give it an assist. You can either hang here and look up, or you're going to push through that front heel. Inhale. Your arms may come all the way up overhead, or you may keep them underneath. Either way, we're going to hang here for 3, 2, chest still moving with the breath only. Take one more inhale as you lift up. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands back down to either side of the foot. Inhale, step your leg back to your push-up position. You may make your modification here. And on your next exhale, lower down again to your chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing. And again, exhale over the toes into downward facing. So now it's the left leg's turn. So again, now we get to lift the left leg up to the skies. And then bend the knee, open the pelvis. So try not to bend the elbows too much. Try not to let the weight go to the outside of your hand. Remember, all fingertip, knuckles, and palms are pushing. Knee is lifting. Foot is heavy. Now inhale, straighten the leg out. Take a look at your hand. And again, the left leg comes all the way forward. Remember, some modification. If you need to, take it back. Rock. You may stay here. You could even drop to the knee if you wanted to. Either way, we're going to inhale all the way up, whatever your modification is. And then exhale. We're going to hold, 3. How about push through that front heel to activate that front quad so this is turned on. Take one more inhale, lifting up through the chest. And then exhale again, hands come down to either side of the foot. Inhale, step the leg back. And exhale, lower into your chaturanga or modification thereof. Inhale into upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. All fours or into child's pose. So just remember that you have modifications that you can use. Now remember, you're stronger than you think you are. So the moment that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to come down to my knees, I cannot hold it any longer. Well, just by telling yourself that, you held it longer. So tell yourself it again, and again, and again, and then you can possibly be finished. So one more inhale, really push through the palms, lift your hips up higher. Exhale all the way, either walking or hopping your feet forward. Inhale again, look up to the front. Exhale, soften and fold. And then sit back low in that chair. And inhale your arms up. And exhale. Come back to breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Keep that rhythm the whole time. Inhaling, keep it lifting. Exhaling, keep it back down. Where we start. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, roll it back down. Keep your chest inflated. Take another inhale as you lift it up. And then exhale, sit back into that chair. Inhale, sweep the arms over your head. And exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And exhale, you're pushing your hands into the mat, walking or hopping your feet back. Take an extra inhale. Make your modification if you need it. Exhale slowly against the ground, all the way down. Then flip the toes. Inhale into up. And exhale into downward. We're going to move through it a little bit quicker this time. So this time we're going to inhale, lift our right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the pelvis. Inhale, lift it back up. And exhale, try to pull it all the way through to the hands. Set your heel. And on an inhale, rise up, look up. And then on your exhale, even if you have to take an extra breath, on your exhale, hands come down. Inhale, step your leg back. And exhale, lower your chest to the floor. Or hover. Inhale, flip the toes, upward facing. Roll over those toes. Exhale, downward facing. And now for the left leg, again, we're just going to take a big inhale as we lift it up. Exhale as we bend the knee, open the pelvis, we're grabbing you from work. Inhale, lift the leg back up. And then exhale, pull it all the way through. And again, when you're ready, on an inhale, reach it all the way up. Inhale, step the leg back. And exhale again, lower. Make whatever modification you need. Inhale into upward, shoulders down. Those shoulders in. And then roll over those toes. So again, this is eventually a resting position. If it's not, make a resting position. So again, it could be tabletop, or it could be balancing child's pose. So to add on a little bit more to the mindset, or to take some out of the mindset, 3 concepts. Keep those palms flat. Palms flat. Our breath is one. Where we look, our drishti is the other. And the third is our internal lock. So try to keep your abdominal activity strong. Tongue press the roof of the mouth. Take one more big inhale. Exhale all the way. Take a look at your hands, walking or hopping. Inhale, look up. And exhale, soften, fold, heavy head. And then sit back low. The chair got a little shorter this time. And inhale, arms up, heart still flowing. And release. Be with the breath. Feel its expansion. Feel that heat that's building up inside. Because this next one is going to be the last one. And we're going to make it a complete vinyasa flow. Okay. Inhale, shoulders up. And exhale, push them down. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, sit low into your chair. Inhale, squeeze your arms up, look at your hands. And exhale, as you fold, look at your toes. Inhale as you look up towards the tip of your toes. And then exhale again, walk it or hop it back to your push-up position. Take an extra inhale, fill up into your shoulder blades, and then exhale, lower, slowly. Inhale, lifting up again, shoulders down, legs are strong, and roll over those toes. Again, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg all the way up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the pelvis. Inhale, lift your leg back up. Exhale, pull it all the way through. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale, step the leg back. Exhale, lower it through. Inhale, open it up, flip it up. Exhale, hips rise up. Now the left side. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the pelvis. Keep those palms flat, straighten the arms. Inhale, lift the leg back up. And exhale, pull it all the way through to the hands. Inhale, come up, make that heart shine. And then exhale again, hands back down to the floor. Inhale, step it on back. And exhale again, smile as you take your chaturanga because you love it. And then inhale into upward facing. And exhale again, either taking rest or coming into downward facing dog. Talking while practicing. Quite a chore. Now I know why I don't teach this way. So again, fingertips, knuckles, palms flat. Belly is full of breath. Belly is not full of breath. Chest is full of breath. Belly is pulled in. Stronger than you think you are. Take one more big inhale. Feel it into your shoulder blades. Exhale everything you've got. Take a look at your hands. And again, walking or hopping your feet to the top. Inhale, look up. And exhale, soften, fold, be heavy. Sit back into that chair that's ever getting shorter. And inhale, arms up. And exhale, release. Let the breath be. Alright. So it's taken us how many weeks to get there? Well, next week, I won't be here. Still be able to do it. Alright, so we're going to take the feet hip width apart. A good indication, remember, to check the distance is 2/5. It's usually fair. Usually helps. So again, hands stay on the hips to begin with. And we're going to inhale again, always lifting the chest up first to reset spine. And then as you exhale, remember that rod in your spine, you have to keep it straight. So as soon as you feel those hamstrings start to turn on, you're going to bend your knees. You may be able to hook your toes with your peace sign fingers, as long as your spine is straight. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, you may or may not Inhale, now look up to the front. Exhale, soften and fold. Bring your hands to your hips. Put a little bend in your knees, weights in the heels, and inhale. It's got to be an inhale. Big breath on the way up. Exhale, release. So triangle pose is where we're going to start. So triangle pose is where we step back with the right foot. You guys are facing the window. Right toes turn out to face the side. Arms are parallel. Inhale, lift your chest up. As you exhale, try to reach and stretch to touch the back wall. On your next inhale, remember, rotate the torso up a little bit to open the chest. And then the right hand falls to the shin. Maybe the toe if you're flexible. If you have any neck issues, you're going to be taking a look at your foot. If the head is all right, you may have a neutral position in the center, or you may be able to look up now towards your left hand. And we're going to be here for 3 more. Now, how about that right quadricep? Is it active and lifting? Now, would you be able to still float your torso where it's at if your hand was not touching your leg? Beautiful. Know how strong you are. Now, try to get your left fingertips further away from your right fingertips so you're stretching and expanding through your chest. If your neck's tweaked, put your left hand on your left hip. Now, put a little bend in your right knee. Inhale, come back up to the center. Turn your right toes in. Your left toes out. Again, it's an inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, keep that chest lifted as you reach forward, and then hand drops down to the floor. And we inhale. Now look up towards your right hand. For 5, 4. Quadriceps are lifting. Remember, happy knees. Lift them up. Now open your chest more. Now again, at the bottom of this exhale, go ahead, make sure the fingers are spread wide here. Put a little bend in your left leg, and then inhale, bring it back up to the center. We're going to stay here. Arms are not going to come down. They're going to stay lifted. So turn your left toes in. And as you turn your right toes out, we're going to inch them a little closer to the outside of our mat, right? Take a little bit lower. So now we're in warrior 2, right? Palms are facing down. Let's get a good bend on that right knee so that one day your knee will be stacked above your heel. And for those of you with knee injuries, a lesser bend is perfectly fine. Now inhale, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, we're going to place the middle of the forearm onto the middle of the thigh. And now as you sweep that right arm up and over, it's not, or the left arm, it's not aiming towards the sky. It's aiming to where the wall meets the ceiling. And now this is where you get to flip the palm so the pinky is down and the thumb is up. Other way. Yeah, that way. So thumb is up. So Robin, other way. Thumb is up, pinkies are down. I think we got everyone in now. Good job. Now again, remember the fun part here? Lift that right arm up and extend out. Breathe deep, inhaling. Exhaling, pull that belly in. Inhaling, keep lifting up. Exhaling, get a little bit lower, and then inhale. Arms stay up, reach up, straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes in, arms stay up. Turn the left toes out. Drop the arms parallel. They're not that heavy, I promise. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, take it down. You're here. Breathe. Chest stays lifted. Alright, forearms back. Inhale, now sweep the right arm up. There we go. I think everyone's got it. Pinky down, thumb up. You're reaching towards the front. Looks good to me. Yes, yes, yes. All the way up and over. So your biceps by your ear. So you're trying to get your hand that's stretched over your head as far away as it can be from that foot. So you're reaching and stretching. Feel the whole right side of your ribcage opening up. And now, fun part, lift that left arm up. Soften your face. Smile. Breathe deeper. You've got this. Take another inhale. Reach towards the front. And then come back up standing. Straighten that leg out. Okay, hands down to the waist. Breathing. Now for the toes, we're going to turn them in. Like pigeons, right? Pigeon toes. However, if you have any sciatica issues, lower back starts to bother you a lot, you may be better keeping the feet parallel instead of turning them in. So So this is another forward fold, which means the same concept of a straight spine stays, right? So if you have to bend your knees to keep the spine straight, we do that, right? So it's an inhale, lift up, and an exhale again, broaden the spine. You can't round if you wanted to. As soon as, again, those tight hamstrings, folks, you guys are going to be propped up, elbows on the knees or on the quadriceps. Flexible people, hands to the floor. And note, you can be flexible and still have your knees bent, okay? So every inhale, again, you're trying to stretch your head longer and away from your tailbone. And then every exhale, the same motion. It's not really your torso moving as much as it might be your legs straightening. Okay? Inhale, length. Exhale. For those of you who are uber flexible, you may walk your hands back so that your fingertips are in line with your toes. And if your legs are straight, your spine is straight, you're going to start pulling the elbows in towards the wrist, just like you're in chaturanga. And then now inhale, look up towards the front. As you exhale, bend your knees, put your hands on your hips. And then inhale again, help put the heels on the way back up to standing. And release. So now we're going to go into an open chest position, so legs stay there. We're going to inhale, straighten the arms out. And as you exhale, we're going to swing them behind the back and interlace all 10 fingers. Inhale, pull the chest back as you open. And then as you exhale again, same concept. So those hamstrings feel tight, bend your knees. You're trying to lift your fists up to the sky. Again, for those of you that are flexible, you may be bringing your hands all the way over to the floor. So if you think that your spine is rounded, try to close the grip of your palm. That will flatten your back out a lot. Now, everyone pull your belly in. It protects your lower back. Beautiful. And the breath resides. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Staying on the mat is killing me. Take one more inhale. Exhale all the way and squeeze your grip. And then use it as you inhale. Pull yourself back up to standing with a little lift through the chest. Yep, all the way up. And then exhale to release. We're going to stay here. So we're going to inhale the arms up over our head. This is the one that we all love. We're going to swing the arms behind the back. So you're either taking your wrist, maybe possibly your elbows, or again, you're working towards the reverse prayer. Good. Now, wiggle your feet in. Well, I think most of your feet are actually okay. They should be about 3-4 feet apart, okay? Now we're going to spin to face the back wall. Spin to face the back of the room. Now, as you're here, take a look at your feet. You want your right foot to be further to the outside of your mat. And now, put that left foot a little bit wider towards the left side of your mat. And turn your toes at a 45-degree angle in. So your toes are further forward on the back side. On the back side. Yes. The back foot's turned in on a 45-degree angle. So imagine your headlights have hips, or your hips. Your hips have headlights, all right? So your hips are trying to stay aimed towards this back wall. So there's no opening them up, right? Now inhale again, lift your chest up. And then as you exhale, keep pushing your right hip back and your left hip forward. So you want to keep them squared. So every inhale, keep lifting your chest, and every exhale, it's just like that forward fold. Inhaling. Exhale, start hinging forward. Good. So as you hinge forward, that chest is leading. For those of you, again, with super tight hamstrings, you may be bending your knee a little bit. Inhaling. So imagine there's no wrinkles in the back of your neck either. So you're not looking up, or your chin's not sagging in, but rather your neck is elongated. Push your palms together. Try to squeeze your inner thighs together. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, go to your deepest point, and then bend that front knee. Push through the heel, and inhale, come back up to standing. And then spin back around to the front. So notice when you spin around how your feet are kind of all crooked, right? You got to unwind them. So now your left foot is on the left side of the mat facing forward, and your right foot is now kicked out to the right side of your mat and on the 45-degree angle. So both toes, the front foot obviously is aimed straight forward, and that back foot is aimed on an angle. So I would turn that back foot just a little bit more. Yeah. And again, lift up the chest so that our hips aren't here, they're facing forward. So be careful when you're in this posture that the knee's not way up here. Because then look how much work this arm is doing. The knee wants to be straight out. Now for those of you that are flexible and have good balance, pull your belly in. And you may or may not start going for your toe with your peace sign finger. Keep staying right where you're at if you're not comfortable going any further. There's no reason to go further if you're not ready. The next phase, for those of you that are ready, will be keeping the legs straight out. So be careful your arms not like way forward, but your shoulders are squared up with your hips. So coming back to the modification if you lift the advance. Now we're going to take the knee out to the side. Keep that jersey forward. You have the toe, again, same thing. Try to keep pushing your right hip forward. Now for those of you who want to challenge your balance, you can look over your left shoulder. So if the balance is a problem, holding the leg up, you can just put the foot right on the side there, prop up and stand tall. And then left weight comes on the step. Now bring the leg back to the middle. Pull that knee up to the chest this time. Now both hands on your hips. Hold it up. Hold it up. Even if it's only an inch off the floor, doesn't matter. It's working. Shoulders down, soften that face. Don't forget to breathe. Maybe a little smile. You'll be okay. Leg's not as heavy as it feels. Now lift it up a little bit more. And then let it go. Shake it out. So we're going to immediately oppose it. So if that standing leg is starting, that foot is starting to cramp a little bit, go ahead and wiggle and shake it a bit. And we're going to go right into another one of your favorites, the whole grip thing on the hand. Okay? So we're going to break it down one at a time, because I may not be here to assist with this. Palms facing up to the sky. Okay? Up. Okay? Now, as you lift your right leg up, don't move your hand. Grab the inside of the foot. Yes. 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 You just gotta get that leg up. Yes. Sometimes the quad cramp. Yes. All right. Excellent. All right. Good stuff. So remember from here, that may be as far as you go today. All right. So what happens when it's wrong, the outside of your elbow is going to be facing out. You want the inside of your elbow to be